Hello everyone, Denise here. Today I'm going to do a comparison video, a review video if you will, of the Etimo Red crochet hook. This is similar to the Clovers. It is a tulip hook. And the generic set that I bought on Amazon, the generic set is made in China. The Etimo hooks or the tulip are made in Japan. So I'm going to take the 5.0 mm from the generic and take out the Etimo Red and take a look at them. So the generic hooks come in a set and they were $12.99 on Amazon. I normally don't look at generic type hooks because they're usually, they usually tend to be more like boy or bow hooks, and I prefer the Clover and or more inline like Susan Bates. So I saw these though, and they really resemble the Tulip Etimo Red, so that's why I got them. And also they were $12.99, so I thought worst case scenario I can gift them. So they come in the set. There is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 hooks. They range from 2.0 mm to 6.0 mm. And they do not have the standard HIJK. They just have the numbers, as you can see on the hooks. So I'm going to open it. Take out the 5.0 mm, and it is just a plastic case with that Velcro that you heard. It's pretty basic, but it's good for a take along. All right, and then I'm going to get out the Tulip Etimo Red. I bought this on Amazon also. I was going to buy it at Joann.com, but on Joann.com they were quite more expensive than Amazon. So I purchased this on Amazon. It was over $10, but under $11. I don't remember the exact price. So we have one hook for, let's round up and say $11 versus 9 hooks for $13. Okay, the one on the left is the Tulip Etimo. The one on the right is the generic. So visibly you can see that the generic one over here is slightly larger as far as the grip. It is less smooth, although it does have good grip. So nothing bad to say about that. I think that's nice. A side view of these. You can see it's just slightly thicker. Let's see, hook wise, looks like the top of the hook is more like boy bow, the generics here. And this of course is typical to, this is like the Clover hooks, the other Etimo hooks that are black and gold, and then we have the pink ones as well. So this is their standard hook, you know, that's not changed obviously. Let's see, end of the hooks, comparing the length, I'll just lay them down. Lengthwise, they're pretty much identical. I don't really see a difference there. Difference in length of the shaft here. The generic is shorter. The Etimo Red is slightly longer. Which doesn't make a difference to me. I don't think I've ever really thought about that other than hooks that are really long like Furls or the Prim, and some of the other off brands that have really long necks that are, they kind of tend to annoy me, but that's just because I'm used to Clover. So at, you know, first take of looking at these, very, very similar. But of course the proof is in the pudding. So we're gonna make some pudding. I have some Hobby Lobby yarn I picked up. It's just some, you know, their low pill fiber yarn. It is in the color, what is this color? Color is blush. So just working along, this is the Tulip hook. I have never used the red, however, it seems to be just exactly the same as, say, a Clover Amour or the other Etimo set that I had that was black and gold. So yes, it has the same feel. I don't see any difference in this whatsoever. The grip is slightly different than the Clover Amour, but that's because it's a different style hook. It's very similar to the black and gold Etimo set that I had. It has the little bump here, you can see. Slight bump, a slight raise there, which does not bother me, but I guess that's just preference. So it's fine. One of the issues I have, because I have larger hands, and this goes for the Clover Amour as well, although I love the hook ends of all of the Clover hooks. I love all the ends of them. All of the shaft and the heads, I love them. But my issue is the length of the hook, because the way I hold my hook, it usually will, depending on how fast I'm going, it will hit me. Get my hand in the camera here. It hits me right at the point where sometimes that will bother me if I am, well, actually if I'm crocheting too much, it ends up bothering me. And that's probably because I'm crocheting too long, but a little bit of length would be nice. 1 inch, you know, on the end of this would be nice. But I'm not going to tell them how to make their hooks. I just use what works. So yes, this is zero different to me than the black and gold Etimo. So I will just say, as far as a review for that, it is, I mean, if you have used any of them, you know this would be exactly like those. So then I will rip this out and move on to the generic hook, which hopefully I like because they're very affordable. So okay, so it feels more grippy just by grabbing it from the other one. It has more of a rubber feel, less smooth, more of a rubber feel. There's more drag on the hook end here, definitely more drag. Not like it would annoy me to the point where I'm not going to crochet, but noticeable. Get my yarn up here so it's not so heavy. So that's just the first 2 notices here, observing that it does have more grip, less slide in the handle. It is less smooth, but not in a bad way. And then there is drag on the hook end. Now, I've heard that you can add soap or rub it in your hair, put a little bit of oil in it, like a slight amount. I have lotion on my hands, so that might even work because life is dry here. Gotta use lotion like 10,000 times a day. So that might actually help, and it is a new hook, so it is going to have some new qualities to it, just like anything else that's new. It needs to get a little worn in. Now that does help, so just that alone helps. Okay. It actually, as far as comparing it to a bow or boy hook, it is better. So my issue was I started crocheting with, however you say it, boy or bow. I have always said, since learning how to crochet, I've called them boy. So I'm going to go ahead with boy. So I learned to crochet with hooks that were boy. I never had an issue with them. I don't really understand what happened along the way, because all of the beginning years I used all yarns like this. I used Red Heart, Karen, Simply Soft. I used all the ones that you would find at your local store, your local Joann, your local Michael's, your Walmarts, all of the basic stores. I, somewhere along the way, started crocheting differently because clearly the hooks did not change. I must have changed, and I started hooking the yarn, and I was not smoothly crocheting anymore. I would go in, and then I would eventually like try to come out. I would end up like snagging or splitting the yarn, or just slipping it off the tip of the hook altogether. I just kind of was a hot mess. And I thought it was just me being a terrible crocheter, although this was later after I had learned, so it wasn't like a new person thing. It wasn't that I didn't have skills, it's that somewhere along the line I became incompatible with my hook, and I had never thought about changing my hook. And then when I was at the store one day, I saw Susan Bates. I was at Joann, and I saw Susan Bates, and so I picked some of them up, and it made a world of difference to me, and it clicked all over again, and crocheting was no longer a problem. So while I am kind of just single crocheting right now, I would have to get deeper into a project with more stitches like the pattern that I'm doing, getting memorized, in order to find out if this hook would be truly compatible to me and how I crochet. I'm going to try some double crochets here. So right away I noticed that the first two I missed the hook because I don't know, that's just something that I have with the boy style hooks. If I am very conscious of what I'm doing, I do not do it. But say I was sitting and watching TV, I probably would be missing stitches. They would be slipping off, or I would not be hooking them correctly. Not that that's a huge deal. I mean, I'm just saying, for me, the way I crochet, this probably wouldn't be my go-to, simply because I could tell right now that I am concentrating so hard to not mess this up. And I don't have that kind of brain power to put in a project when I am just trying to go with the flow and work along. But they're nice. I mean, 100%, if you have zero problem with hooks and you want something a little bit ergonomic, go ahead and pick this up. I'll put a link to the set that I bought. However, after looking at these and buying these, there are tons out there on the market. There's a lot of clay ones with the clay handles that so incredibly affordable. Yeah, I miss them every once in a while. That's interesting. Good hook though. I would totally recommend this to anybody who has zero problems with hooks. As far as, if you use Boy or Susan Bates or you don't care, great hook set for 13 bucks. I have a set of hooks, a couple of sets of hooks that I bought on Amazon that are, one is a light up set and one isn't a light up set, and they are interchangeables. Really good hooks. I really enjoy those hooks. I'm pretty sure I mentioned them in a video before, and I should make a small video of those, even though I'm not sure if they're still available from the people I bought from. But there's a lot of them out there too that it doesn't matter who you buy them from, they're all the same. The hook ends are very nice on those. Very similar to the Etimo hooks, the Clover Amour. So I like it. I I actually would keep this as a backup set if I didn't already have a billion crochet hooks, because I like the grip on them actually a lot. I other than the hook top is so similar to a boy hook, I really like these hooks. I do. They're comfortable. Once I put some oil from the lotion on my hand onto the hook, it started gliding more smoothly. So comparing the two, of course I'm gonna like the Tulip more. 100%. I have zero problems with them. But comparing them, and if you are on a budget, I would recommend getting the generic ones, because you get 9 hooks for $13 instead of 1 hook for $11. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're looking to invest in something, and the tip of the hook makes the difference to you, go ahead and go with a set of Clover or more, because they're cheaper than these red Etimo tulips. So, but yeah, so you can get a good idea of what that looks like. The darker one, the one in the back, is the Tulip. The one in front is the generic. So tell me what you think, if you have experienced buying either of these, if you like them, dislike them. Very interesting. I was so excited when I got these yesterday. I was dying to use them. I'm just dying to use them, and I was like, nope, you gotta do a video, because if you have the questions, like in my mind, I'm like, if you have the questions, someone else has these questions too. So yeah, overall, would I buy them again as a gift? 100%. Would I keep the set I have now as a backup set to take on the go emergency hook set? Yes. However, I have way too many crochet hooks to keep them, so probably be giving these away. Very excellent hooks for the price. I cannot deny that fact. It is a great price. It satisfied my curiosity. They, like I said, they come in sizes 2.0 mm to 6 mm here. So, and this one actually feels smoother than the one I was using. Very nice hooks for $13. Very, very nice. I don't know this company. I know nothing about them. I'm just stating my honest opinion here. And the smaller hooks can be useful. I mean, even if you don't use the smaller yarns or thread, pulling these through on projects where you have like a loop that needs to be pulled up, or like with knitting, you know, dropping a stitch, I use smaller hooks all the time. So yeah, check them out. I will put a link to the person I bought them from on Amazon. I am not affiliated. I have nothing to do with them. This is not sponsored. This is just my curiosity on comparing the Tulip Etimo Reds with something that looks like it is trying to be like them. And while, you know, they hit the mark for the most part, I'll give them, you know, like a strong 80% on hitting the mark. But as you all know, if you have a problem with boy style hooks, it will be a problem for you with any style that's like boy. So if you were curious, if you saw these online, then you have my opinion, which is not necessarily your opinion, but you can take my opinion and decide what you want to do. If you want to buy them or not buy them, it's up to you. Either way, it does not make a difference to me. I just feel like if I'm curious about something, someone else probably is too. So that is all for this video. I appreciate you watching. You can like and subscribe, do as you wish, and take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.